Compound interest. When we observe our bank statements, we generally notice that some interest is credited to our account every year. This interest varies with each year for the same principal amount. We can see that interest increases for successive years. Hence, we can conclude interest charged by the bank is not simple interest. This interest is known as compound interest. Compound interest is the interest calculated on the principal and the interest accumulated over the previous period. It is unlike simple interest, where interest is not added to the principal while calculating the interest during the next period. In case of compound interest, the interest earned for the first period is added to the principal amount. Now, this sum becomes the new principal for the next period. Compound interest finds its usage in most of the transactions in the banking and finance sectors and also in other areas as well. Some of its applications are: first, increase or decrease in population; second, the growth of bacteria; third, rise or depreciation in the value of an item. To find compound interest when interest is compounded annually. In such cases where interest is compounded yearly, the interest accrued during the first year is added to the principal and the amount so obtained becomes the principal for the second year. The amount at the end of the second year becomes the principal for the third year, and so on. Calculating compound interest by using formula. Let P be the principal and R the rate % per compounded annually. Amount after 1 year, A, equals to P plus interest for 1 year, equals to P plus P into R into 1 by 100. Here T equals to 1 year, so amount equals to P 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power n, where R equals to rate of interest per annum, P equals to principal, A equals to amount after n years. Example 1. Find the compound interest on rupee 12,600 for 2 years at 10% per annum compounded annually. 12,600 is our principal, time is 2 years and rate is 10% per annum and it is compounded annually. So the principal for first year equals to rupee 12,600. So now the interest for first year equals to rupee. So to calculate the interest, we know the formula is P into R into T, that is principal into rate into time by 100. So our principal is 12,600 multiplied by rate, that is 10 into 1 as we are calculating for the first year, so time is 1 year, so 1, and divided by 100. So we get our interest as rupee 1,260. So the amount at the end of first year, the amount at the end of first year equals to rupee, that is principal plus interest, so rupee 12,600 plus 1,260, that is the interest. So principal plus interest gives the amount, so the amount becomes rupee 13,860. So the amount at the end of first year is principal plus interest equals to rupee 13,860. So now the amount at the end of first year becomes the principal for the second year. So now principal for the second year equals to rupee 13,860. So now the principal for second year is the amount that was in the first year. So now the principal for second year is So now the amount of the first year becomes the principal for the second year, that is 13,860. So the interest for second year equals to P into R into T, that is rupee. Principal is 13,860 multiplied by rate, that is 10%, and the time is 1 year as we are calculating for only second year, and divide by 100. So we get our interest as rupee 1,386. So this is the interest for the second year. So now the amount for the second year. So now amount for the second year equals to principal plus interest. That is the principal for the second year plus the interest for the second year. So the principal is rupee 13,860 and interest is rupee 1,386. So the amount becomes rupee 15,246. So this is the amount for the second year. Now to find the compound interest, subtract amount of the first year from the amount of the second year. So the total compound interest for 2 years is amount. So the compound interest equals to amount at the end of second year So the compound interest equals to amount at the end of second year amount at the end of first year. So the amount at the end of second year is rupee 15,246 and the amount at the end of first year was 13,860, or this is also the principal for the second year. So we get our compound interest equals to rupee 2,646. So this is the compound interest for 2 years at the rate of 10% per annum when the principal was 12,600.